Today marks 1457 days share lessons I learned and continue to learn with you. I hope these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about seven words that start with P. We already discussed quite a few letters, but today I really want to focus about P letter and seven words that are essential to become the best version of you. So number one is purpose. Purpose. I think that's easy to understand because purpose is a lot of times the anchor of meaning. That means that when you have meaning, you're able to really have that purpose pushing you forward. Because without purpose, people perish. That's why we need to really build that purpose, build that vision, build those dreams and goals that really excites you and makes you tick and you wake up and you're really excited about taking action towards that vision. Because I really love that when it says that sometimes we know the vision, but just we do not know the path. But that's totally fine. I think the most important part is still have the purpose, and have there's other things that we need to do to really understand the awareness. But a lot of times everything starts from purpose because purpose gives you the clarity that you need to really take action today rather than waiting for tomorrow today because that's when you dedicate your life to something meaningful beyond yourself, and that's why I think that purpose is always and will be in the most important words in the vocabulary because that's where we start where the fulfillment and meaning in our life lies. Because sometimes we probably heard it 1,000 times, but it's beautiful saying sometimes people they have two births. First one is when you when you have a birth date, and the second time is when you know why why you have that birthday in the first place. What was the reason behind it that you are put on this earth? And I think that's the beautiful thing, and the purpose is allowing us to understand that. Number two is passion. Passion. And this is again the fuel for energy. And I think that there is two different parts how we able to look into passion, and I'm more looking into the second one. But at first, people think that you need to find your passion. And that's totally fine, but sometimes you can get lost. But instead, I'm not working on anything because I didn't find anything yet. The second group is that I need to build my passion. So what it means that sometimes when you really start working on something, you are very bad at something and you suck at something, but you work on it, you develop, you improve, you progress, you put effort. At some point, you become good at it, and because you become good at it, you develop the passion. So rather than thinking that you need to find a passion, we need to start to think about how I need to develop my passion. Now, I truly believe that when you think about finding a passion, is great to explore, experiment, and really have that MVP, minimal viable product, to really and understand a lot of different things and then work on it, develop. Otherwise, I think that you'll never find a passion. But you're able, what do you do to find a passion? Because if the first most important part is develop the passion. And like I said, a lot of times passion comes after you have the purpose. Because when you have a purpose, you become much more passionate about the things that you need to do. And that's those things that really fuels the energy. Because without energy, it's very hard to pursue anything in life. Number three is persistence. And this is the power of consistency. Because consistency is a great thing, but without persistence, it's very hard to keep consistency. Because there'll be a lot of days that you will feel terrible. There'll be a lot of things that are externally will happen and internally will happen that will really challenge you and will challenge your consistency. And will you be able to be persistent and persevere during tough days? That's the question. Because everyone knows that every single person could do great job, consistent job when they feel good. Everyone's understand that. But when the tough days come in, that's the separator is between the person who is average, mediocre, and person who is really pursuing something meaningful, something big, something purposeful, something that is beyond themselves. And I think that's again, persistence is the probably one of the most important things for a person who really wants to pursue the big things in life. Number four is patience. And this is the wisdom of timing because I think that is very, very important to understand that patience is something that is action based. Because patience is always seems like very, very, very passive. But I don't think of patience as a passive because there's a beautiful thing. You need to be aggressive with your actions and patient with your results. Aggressive with your actions and patient results, what it means that you are patiently waiting while you putting effort. That's his patience. Waiting just for the sake of waiting, hoping that things will change without you changing. That's something I think it could lead to delusion, hoping for something that will never change. But if you're doing the right thing and putting the effort and changing and asking the right questions, at that moment we need to have patience because the best things doesn't come overnight. Health doesn't come overnight. We need to go to gym, we need to eat healthy, and we need to have patience that our health, our body, our energy will improve. And that's where we need patience. Number five is perspective. And this is probably one of the most important words as well. And this is a lens of understanding. And what I mean by that is that when I think about positivity, I think the positivity is below perspective. Because when you have better perspective, you are much more positive. So that means a lot of times we look into our problem seems such a massive, big problem. But when we have a better perspective, and uh, at that moment, that massive problem could become a small bump in the road. And I think that's one of the best examples about perspective I learned is a lot of times how far away you're looking at. So that means that when you start climbing the mountain, at the beginning, at the bottom of the mountain, probably you will have certain perspective. But when you climb on the mountain, on the top of the mountain, you will feel so much far ahead and you have much better perspective. So that means that when you think about life as well, when we at the bottom, our perspective is not that good. So what we need to do is sometimes we need to get a mentor who has a on the top of the mountain and ask, what do you see on the top of the mountain? What do you see where I am? What do you see where I should go right now based on my current situation? I said, turn here, turn here, and then go there, and then you climb it. And the more you climb, the better perspective you have. So the more you climb, the more positivity you have, the better attitude, the more gratefulness you have. So it means when the bottom, we need to understand that our perspective is lacking. And the number of things that we need to seek is more perspective, more understanding. And when we have more understanding, when we have more perspective, at that moment it's so much easier to be more grateful, more positive, and all other things. More strong will, more courageous, more confident, all the things I think that this comes a lot of times just from perspective alone. Number six, and this again, this is just no-brainer, presence. So this is the power of now. The power now. And I think that one of the most beautiful questions that every single person could ask themselves is, what could I do now? I already shared that, and I think that's a very, very important, powerful question is that when you get lost in the past, when you think about all the things that all the mistakes that you did, all the terrible mistakes that you did, embarrassing things that you did, that you're not proud of, like, again, be able to ask, what could I do now to make it better, to change, to not do it again? Because now we're a total different person, and we're able to say, what could I do now? In the space as well, when you look into vision, mission, purpose, dedication, every big thing that we have set for ourselves, and then again, bring it back to now. So, what could I do now to move closer to that vision, to that purpose, to that meaning that I have set for myself? At the end of the day, everything is around now presence. And I think that one of the most beautiful things that you can give to other person is presence. Because you know that you can be your body could be in one place, but your mind could be other place. And that's why sometimes we give presence with our body, but we do not give presence with our mind. So one of the most important things in our family and friendships and business environments everywhere, we need to give full 100% presence with our body and with our mind at the same time. And last one, number seven, and again, when you think about becoming the best version of you, this is essential word, and this is progress. And this is a proof of growth. So being able to look a month, a year, 5 years, how much did you progress? How much did you grow? How much did you transform, evolve to a different kind of person? Your skill sets, your character. Maybe there are some kind of measurements of your finances, of your health, how much you're able to press from the there's so many things that you can measure that look at it, and I think that when you look at you really measure your progress at that moment you're able to be much more positive as well because you oh I see the progress because the progress is not like it's not such a massive that you're able to see immediately. most time the progress that you're able to see only when you compare quite big timelines than a year, 3 months. If you compare a week, most likely you will not see such a massive difference unless you just started, and you might see massive difference at the beginning. But when you really get developed, after that you just small tweaks, small tweaks, small pivots that you're able to do to really progress even more above and beyond. And I think that's, again, we're able to ask, okay, what do I work right now to progress in my life? Character, skills, what I'm working to progress at the moment. Because progress is essential in our lives just to make sure that we're able to become the best version of ourselves. So I hope you choose to win. And before that, before I go there, I still want to really share summary. So purpose gives life meaning and focus. Passion fuels joy and motivation. Persistence builds resilience and mastery. Patience cultivates peace and long-term growth. Perspective turn obstacles into opportunities. Presence deepens connection and mindfulness. And progress keeps momentum and self-trust alive. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.